Guys, welcome. We're talking quadratic formula today. You did it when you were in Algebra 1, but now, look at you, you're in Algebra 2. I want you to be able to solve problems doing the quadratic formula. I also want you to be able to look at the discriminant and tell how many solutions there would be. Now the discriminant is the portion in the square root symbol. Now you know if you square root a positive number, you're going to have two real solutions. The only time you're going to have one real solution is if you're square rooting 0. One real solution. Now, if you square root a negative number, ordinarily that would have been no solution back in the day, but now we're going to say that is two complex solutions, because that's going to go into the complex number system, the I system. So let's try one out here. 4x squared plus 6x minus 40. Go over here, Mr. Plan. So you're going to need an A, a B, and a C in this formula. Now, the A is whatever is in front of your x squared. The B is whatever's in front of your regular x. And then your C is going to be whichever one doesn't have a variable. So in this case, it's going to be negative 40. If it says minus, you have to treat it like a negative. Now you always have to make sure it's equal to 0 as well. You know how to manipulate an equation to make that happen. So we'll say x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Now this is all on the previous slide. The formula is there for you. But you're filling in opposite of b, and b is 6. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 6 again, minus 4a, which is 4. C is negative 40. All of that is over 2a, which is 40. Now we just do our order of operations. If you're working across the numerator here, we have the opposite of 6, negative 6, plus or minus. Inside the square root, we have 6 squared. That's 36. Now this minus 4ac, if a or c is negative, like in this case we have negative 40, that's going to change it to plus, right? Because a negative times negative is positive. So 4 times 4 is 16, times 40 would be 640. So it'll say 36 plus 640 in the square root. Denominator, 2 times 4 is 8. We go to our next step. We're still in that square root. Negative 6 plus or minus 36 plus 640 is 676. All of that is over 8. Now, 676, if you square root that in your calculator, it'll tell you that's 26. But the reason we have the plus and minus is because it can also be negative 26. So we're going to set up two equations here. We're going to do negative 6, whoops, okay. We're going to do negative 6 plus 28, 26, over 8, and we're also going to do negative 6 minus 26 over 8. We solve them, and then we're done. Negative 6 plus 26 is 20. Over 8 reduces to 5/2. Negative 6 minus 26 is negative 32. Divided by 8 is negative 4. Those are your two solutions. If you substitute them into the original equation, they both work. Also, remember, all these solutions are where, if you were to graph it, this is where they would cross the x-axis. So it would cross at negative 4, and it would cross at 5/2, which is 2.5. So the graph, the parabola would look something like that.